Hello, my name is Jen Young and I'm here to show you how to make this beautiful joy card. What you're going to need is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch cardstock. I am using the Jolly by Golly line by Cosmo Cricket. You will also need a 2 1/2 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock, and I am using some cute light green basil cardstock for this center section here. You will also need 6 inches of ribbon. I grabbed this out of my stash. It's got some cute snowflakes on it and I thought it would be perfect for this kind of card. And a cute little clear snowflake embellishment, which would be great to add right next to the letters J, O, and Y thickers. You're going to want some sparkle glitter glue to add these beautiful touches right here. So why don't we get started? What I use for a base for my cards is this pack by Recollections I get at Michael's. It's about $5 for a package of 25 and it comes with the envelopes and everything. It really comes in handy for doing quick cards or whatever, so I highly recommend getting something like that, then instead of having to measure out whatever you need. It comes in with a crease already, so you can just go ahead and fold that, and then it's ready for you to go. So set that aside, and cut your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of cardstock, and your 2 1/2 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock, your 6 inch ribbon, your embelly. And what I'm going to do is take some StazOn ink here. I'm using Timber Brown to just ink the edges. It kind of just makes it look real nice and finished. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Every card looks completely different when you ink. It, but I'm kind of staying with inking the edges. And before we ink the edges of this, I'm going to take a corner rounder and just take the corners off to make it the retro looking line that we've got here. Okay, so all of the edges are cut. Or corners, excuse me, and we will ink this something real quick and simple. There. Now, what I'm going to do is PG gun and tape just along about, I would say about a 1/4 inch above the bottom of this cardstock. So what I do is just take it and go right across like that, and then adhere the ribbon. Okay, and now what you'll see is I have a little bit of a hangover on each edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to just put a small tack right there so we can fold those pieces over. That way it hides it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get the letters J, O, and Y, and we are going to adhere that to this green strip. And I have it kind of slightly to the left, so that way once we have it all centered, it will look all centered once we have the snowflake next to the Y. So at first it might not look exactly how it should until we add it all together. Alright, so there's the J, O, and Y. Just like that. And what I'm going to do before we adhere the snowflake is we're going to tape the back of this, and then we're going to adhere it to this, so that way we can get it at card base. So let's go ahead and take care of that. And then I position it about a 1/2 inch from the bottom. Now what you're going to need to do is grab your snowflake, and I'm using some Scotch quick dry adhesive to adhere the snowflake to this. But first, before we adhere it, we're going to need the card front to the card base. So heat gun, or whatever adhesive you prefer to use. Scotch double-sided tape works just as well. And I just kind of line it up to make sure it's nice and even. Okay. Now let's take that. And then what you're going to do is there's a flat side and there's a rough side. And you're going to want to put the glue on the flat side just a little bit. If you put too much, then it kind of doesn't look very good. So we're going to stick that right next to the letter Y. Just kind of push it down so it sticks real good. And this stuff dries really quick. I've never had any complaints about the quick dry adhesive, that's for sure. So next what we're going to do to finish it off is we're going to take some of this glitter glue and we're going to put some little dots right around here and make it like a swirl, so it'll kind of match up with all the little swirls around the snowflakes and such. So what I just kind of do is do like dots kind of in a spiral. And there we go. So here's your card, and feel free if you want to stamp a sentiment inside or whatever, but if you just want to leave it blank and just write whatever you would like to your family or friends, there you go.